user needs to successfully upload a photo of the current scotch they are drinking. Check to make sure the app correctly identified the scotch. Rate the scotch. Select if they own it or not, and take notes to record and share. You're at a bar having a delicious scotch and want to not only remember it for later, but also want to share it with your scotch buddies, what you are currently drinking. You are easily able to upload a picture of the scotch you are currently drinking from anywhere. You see the application detecting the scotch from the photo you have just uploaded and providing you with additional information about the scotch. You are then able to write some tasting notes, rate, check the do you own it area, and share with your scotch buddies. All right, Scotchland, let's do it. iPhone, so I need to successfully upload a photo. I want to take a photo. I see a camera button there, so that seems like a logical place to start. So frame your scotch label and click the camera icon. So I'm gonna do that. Okay. So here's a picture of my scotch. I think I did okay. Use that. Select yes on the switch to indicate that the app detected your scotch correctly. The Macallan 12. Yep, that's the Macallan 12. All right, let's see here. My rating, I love Macallan 12. I drank some last night. So I'm gonna give that 5 scotch glasses. I do own it. Whoops. And then, let's see, tap the glass to rate. Use the switch to indicate. Yep, tap on the notes section to write down your thoughts. Okay. Best bang for the buck. Okay. And then I can share or post it. Okay, that looks pretty simple. When the user taps share and is taken back to the feed, the latest post on the top, the task is ended. All right. How'd I do?
Great. There's
Cool.
no wrong answer.
Yeah, awesome. All right. So we've got, there's real scotch in here. Yeah, great. Paul Marsh, who's that?
That's Carrie's father.
Nice, nice. That's great. Oh, this is great. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see here. All right. User task 2. User needs to successfully find the distillery and scotch made by that distillery that they are interested in by selecting a region. Okay. They need to compare what others are saying about that scotch. Got it. Okay. You're interested in learning more about Macallan 12. The only thing you know about it is that it's from the region of Speyside. You are especially interested in learning about the distillery. Training where it's located on the map. All right. You are easily able to learn more about Macallan 12 by selecting the regions tab. Okay, cool. So Speyside, I got it. All right, I know it's in Speyside, and then there's the Macallan. All right. You drill down and find the region to find the distillery. From there, you're given a list of all the different scotches Macallan makes. After selecting the scotch you're interested in, you have the ability to learn more about the distillery, learn more about that particular scotch from the distillery, see what the average rating is, and what the average cost is, and allows you to investigate into what others are saying about that scotch. On the same page, you can tap on the review tab, switch over, and see what other people are saying about this particular scotch. Okay. So let me see my Macallan 12, distiller score 89. Clicked on it. Okay, this takes me back to the page where I had previously typed notes. I think I had a different note in there. I think this was the same. So I think this is like the pre-filled one that got put in there. Okay, so now I'm trying to go back to there. Okay, back to Macallan 12. Let's see. Read through the info section, learn more about Macallan 12. Let's type the review to see what the other peeps are saying. Okay. Common tags. Okay, so it looks like Naomi has rated this, and she is super sophisticated. I am not. So this is a really awesome description of Scotch that I would never write. I wish I had the ability to write. Even Paul's description is really awesome, and how I feel inferior from a tasting perspective. So I love the idea that there are common tags associated with it, because I don't have a very complex palate. So it's pretty cool for me to be able to see like what the people that do have the complex palate thought. I like how it's broken down, so I can see like exactly what my buddies are saying versus everyone else, because I think it's drinking inherently is a social thing. So I want to be able to like share my experience with my friends, and without having a bunch of strangers. So that's the same reason that I, follow certain people on Twitter. But if I want to see a hashtag about something in particular, I can go check that out without it ruining my like customized experience. So I like that a lot. So I like the common tags. Distiller score is interesting to me, but I don't know what the reference is. I guess if it was like the wine score, it would be Wine Spectator score. I feel like that's something I've heard of. Maybe I just haven't heard of distiller score, but maybe some explanation around that, or a tooltip, or just telling me like, is 89 good? Is it out of 100? How does that compare? Is that maybe it's really hard to get a 90 or an 89. Like maybe that's the top 0.1% of scotches. So that would be interesting to see. Cost-wise, maybe even a key there is just like, is the cheapest scotch $10 or $30, and is the expensive stuff like $5,000 or like $100? It all sounds expensive to me. Yeah, so that's some of the info stuff. Am I getting off my course, or am I
No,
still
you're doing
okay?
great.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I mean, I had my notes, and then I don't know. Maybe I would like read some of the other reviews and be like, oh, that is a good point. I also tasted the ginger, and then maybe I would like go back and amend it, especially if I felt like everybody's reviews were like way more sophisticated than mine. I'd be like, oh, maybe I should spend a little more time on that if this is going with my profile. Yeah, I think this map looks awesome. I think the design looks awesome. Average rating, I don't know if that's my friends or everybody. Maybe you have both. I get why the rating is done in Scotch glasses. That might be difficult to read if it's like 4.5 stars or 3 1/3 stars or whatever, however you end up doing your ratings. It might be difficult to see the fractional stars. So, all right, cool. All right, task 3. User needs to successfully discover a new scotch they've never tried before, and then need to go to recommended scotches info page to learn more. You want recommendations on new scotches to try. You'd also like to learn more about the scotches recommended to you. Okay, cool. Discover. Okay, so it's going to select scotches similar to what I've already got. And have the ability, I like that, my top shelf. You then have the ability to add to the list of your profile or learn more about that particular scotch. Okay, cool. So here are the 5 scotches that are recommended to me. Talisker is one of my favorite scotches, so that's cool. That's on there. Distiller score 97. Is that real? That's great. Yeah, that's my favorite scotch. All right, Macallan. Let's just dig into this Macallan 18 though. All right, so I need to get a recommendation on a new scotch I've never tried. All right, so I've tried the 12. Now I'm looking at the 18. Is it worth me spending? It looks like it's one more dollar sign, but the ratings are the same. Distiller score is 90 versus 89. I think this costs like almost $20 or $30 more per bottle than 12. Maybe it's more than that. So I would, for me to try it, it needs to be like a compelling thing, or my friends have to have said like, yo, you're an idiot if you're not doing it. Why are you drinking 12? Poor man's scotch. So I think I'll go to the reviews tab and see if my no reviews, no notes.
It's not designed yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I would probably go to reviews tab and just be like, yo, what's the difference between the 12 and the 18? Like, what's the real difference between 12 and 18? And some people that don't have a very sophisticated palate really need that spelled out. I'm definitely one of those people. So yeah, I would be really interested in the comparison. Or if it's those 5, like why were those 5 chosen? I get that they are close to what I've got, but I mean, I would be really interested to see why like the Talisker was chosen based upon Macallan 12, for example. So I think I'd want, I also, like in the Discover piece, I'm cool with there being more than 5. I'd be cool with there being like, or categories, like same price, same distiller score, in similar price range to Macallan 12, and then maybe like higher distiller score, and that's going to increase the cost, I assume, but I like categories. So, or just maybe I can click here. Yeah, I was gonna filter maybe. So I'd be cool if there was even more options, but there was an ability for me to kind of filter by cost, by rating, and then add to my, hit the plus button, you know, add to my favorites list, my top shelf. Cool. So, but yeah, this is cool. I mean, with Pandora, you don't always, sometimes, like, for the most part, I think that they will tell you why they recommended a particular song, and it could just be like one thing on there that tells me like why they think that I would like Talisker. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yep. Awesome.
Cool. All right, so I've looked at a camera, I've looked at the regions, I've done some discovery, I've got my feed where I took pictures and all my friends are posting stuff that they're drinking. All right, task 4, last task. User needs to successfully find the Ashen Tashen 12-year, Ashen Tashen 12-year, and review what they wrote about, review what they wrote about it and make any changes as needed. You can't remember how you rated it, or even what you wrote about it. You think you gave it a high rating, but you want to make sure. Okay, the goal is that I'm able to check my notes by tapping on the me and on nav. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my feed because my top shelf, it's possible that I rated it, but it's not in my top shelf, right? Because
Which one?
Ashen Tashen.
Oh,
That's probably
let's see in the notes. Yeah, so it'd be in your top shelf, but
because it's possible like I drank it, I rated it, I was like, oh.
You disliked it, yeah. Yeah.
So maybe they're not 100% overlap. Okay, but this one is in my top shelf. All right. Once you select it, you're taken to the My Notes tab, and then I can look. Okay, so I was able to go to my top shelf, but it wasn't in my feed. I think I probably would have expected it to be in my feed, because those would be the ones all the ones I've ever rated. It's my feed versus the full feed. I guess those would be two different things. So I like the feed concept because I can see what all my friends are doing. But if I were looking for a rating I had done, I'm like super selective about my top shelf. I'd probably only have like 12 scotches in there, and they probably would be like, to me, top shelf is top shelf. So I would be like, even though I like Macallan 12, it's probably not going to be on like my top shelf. So that said,
would it make sense then to do like a general search? Like if there was a search, you type in the scotch that you thought you might have rated, and then
yeah, you could.
As far as that way,
you could definitely search that way. Yeah, that would probably be the best because if I rate 60 scotches in a year, it's just gonna be a lot to go through.
Right.
Or yeah, I think that's a great way to do it. Or my ratings, and then there's a search in there.
Okay. Cool.
I like scotches to try a lot. For what it's worth, just because I'm constant. Like, if somebody makes a recommendation, and it's just not in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would love to do that. Or you could do that from the feed. I guess that's what the plus is. So like that can add it to your list to try for later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, yeah, I think it's super self-explanatory for me to rate or to see what my rating is once I find my top shelf. So I was able to find Ashen Tashen, and there are my notes right there. And I rated it a 5. So
Cool.
cool.
All right. So I just have like a few follow-up questions for you.
Alrighty.
All right. So, what was your overall impression of the app?
I think it's very clean and concise, and no wasted motion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's not. There aren't like all these bells and whistles that make it overly complex. Like, I like concise and easy to use and intuitive. I think it's got all those things. So I think the overall impression is really good. It's obviously a prototype, but I think it's not far away from being like a finished product. Yeah.
Cool. What didn't you like about it?
I think probably the fact that the way I think about Scotch is I wouldn't want anybody to be able to follow me. So I don't know how the following works, but I would say like Strava, for example, when I go running,
Mm-hmm.
I hate that people like can follow my runs. So I just like don't approve anybody. I used to like approve people,
Mm-hmm.
and I just stopped. So my sister's the only one that could see what I'm running.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would not like strangers seeing my scotches.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not like just Facebook friends. I'd be totally cool if it was like you,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't want acquaintances to see. And I would prior, like, that would be important to me.
Got it. So privacy is important.
Yep.
And then the possibility of like directly sending an invite to someone that you do care about.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cool. Oh. Let's see. Would you use this app again in the future? If it was a real.
I probably would. I had experience with one beer app like this,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, beer is kind of overwhelming. There's
Mm-hmm.
just so much, and so my buddies would have content like who could drink the most beers off the list, and that's just kind of like overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of time to be like, I'm not able to drink every night, you know.
Nor should you.
Hopefully. Scotch is a little different though, you know.
Yeah.
I think Scotch is a little more curated. You sit down and like you sip on Scotch,
Yeah.
and you enjoy that, and beers are just a little different mindset. So I probably would use this app. I don't know what the competitive landscape is, but I like this.
Cool.
Like you, so yeah.
Awesome.
I think I'd give it a run, and then it would be obviously a lot more fun if you had like 4 friends on it,
Mhm.
but maybe not, for me, not 20 friends,
Right.
because then it would be kind of overwhelming. But I'd be totally fine with getting a push notification. Hey, check out Matt just tried this, and
Mhm.
like if it was every 3 days, that'd be totally cool.
Yep.
But like I said, I don't drink I'm not drinking Scotch every day. Like,
Right.
I wouldn't want to get updates like 3 times a day.
Sure.
I would probably want it like just less frequent, and then when I do go out on a Saturday, I'm like, I really want to try a Scotch.
Mhm.
That's probably where I'd pull it out.
Cool.
And I'd be like, what have my friends tried, and what can I try that they haven't tried?
Right.
Maybe is another one. None of your friends have tried this Scotch. Might be a cool feature too. Because
Cool.
then I can try something that they haven't.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.